We've decided to invest your college fund in Brad's food truck business. He needs it more than you need some fancy degree. My mother announced casually over breakfast, as if she hadn't just destroyed my entire future with a single sentence. I stared at the acceptance letter to Northwestern University in my trembling hands, dated yesterday, while my stepbrother Brad smirked behind his third helping of pancakes. How could they empty my $80,000 college fund? Money my late grandmother had specifically left for my education, without even telling me? It's a solid investment, my stepfather Roger added, not even looking up from his phone. Brad's Burgers is going to be huge. Food trucks are the future. You'll thank us when you're working at his franchise someday. That's my money, I said quietly, my voice barely working. Grandma left it to me. For college. It's literally in her will. Don't be selfish, Chloe, Mom snapped. Family helps family. Brad's 24 and needs to start his life. You're only 18. You can take out loans like everyone else. Or skip college, Brad suggested, grinning. I didn't go, and look at me now. An entrepreneur. I looked at him. Unemployed for 2 years, 3 failed business ventures behind him, still living at home, still being babied by our parents. Then I looked at my acceptance letter. Northwestern. Journalism program. My dream since I was 12. The account statements I managed. Can I at least see what's left? Mom shifted uncomfortably. It's gone, Chloe. All of it. The truck, equipment, permits, initial supplies. It adds up. You spent $80,000 on a food truck. Don't raise your voice at your mother, Roger warned. Brad's our son too. He deserves a chance. With my inheritance. You're being dramatic, Mom said. Plenty of people work their way through college. Maybe this will teach you character. I stood up, my legs shaking. When did you take it? Last month, she admitted. We were going to tell you. After I got rejected from all my schools. Were you hoping I wouldn't get in anywhere so you wouldn't have to explain? Silence. Oh my God, I whispered. That's exactly what you were hoping. I left the table, went to my room, and stared at the acceptance letter. 4 years of straight A's, volunteer work, internships at local papers, writing competitions, all for nothing. I couldn't afford Northwestern without that fund. I couldn't afford community college without that fund. I called the bank, hoping my mother was exaggerating. The account manager confirmed it, the education trust my grandmother had set up. The one that required my signature after I turned 18, had been drained when I was still 17, and Roger was still technically my legal guardian. They'd taken it all 1 week before my birthday. I sat on my bed numb as the reality sank in. Then my phone rang. Unknown number. Chloe. The voice was familiar but unexpected. It's your Aunt Patricia. My mother's estranged sister. The one whose picture had been turned face down in every family album. The one we weren't supposed to talk about. How did you? I've been watching, she said simply. I know what they did with your college fund. I know about Northwestern. And I have a proposition for you. Aunt Patricia, I don't even really know you. Mom says. Your mother says a lot of things. Did she tell you why we don't speak? She said you were jealous of her family. That you tried to break up her marriage to Roger. Patricia laughed, but it wasn't cruel. I tried to warn her that Roger was bleeding her dry. That he was using Brad to manipulate her. That she was going to lose you if she kept choosing them over you. She cut me off instead. Why are you calling now? Because I've watched for 4 years as they dimmed your light. Because your grandmother was my mother too, and she'd be horrified to know they stole your education fund. And because I believe in investing in potential, not food trucks. I don't understand. I'm offering to pay for your education. All 4 years. Tuition, room, board, books, everything. No loans, no strings. Just one condition. What condition? You graduate. You succeed. You become everything they said you couldn't be. And when they come calling, and they will, You remember who believed in you and who didn't. I couldn't speak. Couldn't breathe. Chloe. Are you there? Why would you do this? Because I was you once. The overlooked daughter. The one whose needs came second. I made it out, built my business, succeeded despite them. Now I want to pay it forward. Your grandmother would have wanted this. Mom will go crazy. Your mother made her choice. Now you make yours. Northwestern? Yes, I whispered. Yes, please. Email me your acceptance letter and banking details. I'll handle the rest. And Chloe? Don't tell them. Not yet. Let them think you're taking out loans or working multiple jobs. Let them believe their narrative. We'll correct it later. 4 years later. Chloe, you made it. Mom's voice was artificially bright as she greeted me at my graduation party, the one I hadn't invited her to, but she found out about anyway. I stood in my cap and gown, Northwestern's journalism program honor cords around my neck, surrounded by friends and professors who had actually supported me. My parents and Brad had crashed the restaurant, looking conspicuously out of place. Congratulations, honey, Roger said stiffly. We always knew you'd figure it out. Did you? I asked mildly. Of course. And look, Brad's here too. Tell her about the food truck, Brad. Brad, heavier and surlier than 4 years ago, shrugged. It failed. After 6 months. Economy, you know. I'm sorry to hear that, I said, not sorry at all. But we're not here to dwell on the past. Mom interjected quickly. We're so proud of you, Chloe. Graduating with honors. How did you manage it? The loans must be killing you. We want to help. I graduated debt-free, I said simply. They froze. That's impossible, Roger stammered. Northwestern costs. About $320,000 for 4 years, yes. I know exactly how much it costs. But how? Mom's voice pitched higher. Were you? Her face went red, clearly imagining unsavory possibilities. I had a benefactor, I said calmly. Someone who believed in me. Someone who thought my education was worth investing in. Who? Roger demanded. I smiled and waved at the door. Perfect timing. Aunt Patricia walked in, looking like success personified. Designer suit, confident stride. The kind of presence that made people take notice. Mom went white. Patricia, she whispered. Hello, Linda. Patricia said coolly. Roger. And this must be Brad, the entrepreneur. You. Mom hissed. You paid for this? Every penny, Patricia confirmed. Best investment I ever made. Did you know your daughter graduated summa cum laude? That she's already been hired by the Washington Post. That her senior thesis on family financial abuse won a national award. Family financial abuse? Roger's face darkened. What have you been telling people? The truth, I said simply. It was quite therapeutic, actually. Turning my pain into academic excellence. My professor said it was one of the most well-documented cases she'd ever seen. You had no right. Mom turned on Patricia. She's my daughter. Actually, Patricia interrupted, that's what we need to discuss. Chloe. I took a deep breath. I've legally changed my last name. I'm Chloe Patterson now, Grandma's maiden name. Seemed appropriate, considering. You can't do that. Already done. Along with some other changes. I've been working with a lawyer, Patricia recommended him. Turns out, taking money from a trust fund meant specifically for education and using it for something else. That's fraud. You wouldn't dare, Roger growled. I wouldn't, I agreed. If you hadn't shown up here. If you'd left me alone to celebrate with people who actually care about me. But since you're here, making demands, talking about pride you never felt and support you never gave. Brad, how's that franchise coming along? Brad looked at his feet. There is no franchise, Patricia said helpfully. The food truck failed in 6 months. The $80,000 is gone. Wasted on a vanity project for a spoiled man-child, while a brilliant young woman nearly lost her future. "How dare you?" Mom started. "I dare because I'm done watching you destroy her," Patricia shot back. "4 years ago, you chose Brad over Chloe. You stole her inheritance, her future, her faith in her own family. You chose a Stepson's food truck over your daughter's education." Brad needed to get a job," I interrupted. Brad needed to stop being enabled. Brad needed parents who would teach him responsibility instead of stealing from their daughter to fund his fantasies. "That money was for the family," Roger insisted. "That money was for my education," I said, louder than I intended. The restaurant had gone quiet, everyone watching. "And you took it. Without asking. Without warning. Without caring what it would do to me." "We were going to pay you back," Mom said weakly. "With what?" "Brad's food truck profits. The ones that don't exist, because the truck is in a junkyard somewhere." "Actually, I sold it," Brad mumbled. "For parts. Got about 5,000. "Which he spent on a motorcycle," Patricia added. "I've been keeping tabs." "So you've been spying on us?" Roger accused. "Watching," Patricia corrected. "Making sure you didn't do more damage." "Did you know they tried to take out loans in your name, Chloe?" "I didn't actually." "What?" "3 times. Credit cards, a car loan. Fortunately, I'd already helped you lock your credit. They were denied." The betrayal hit fresh, even after 4 years. "You tried to steal my identity too." "We were desperate," Mom said. "After Brad's business failed." "After you stole my future to give to him, you mean?" "You're being cruel," she accused. "I'm being honest. Something this family never valued." I turned to Patricia. "Thank you for telling me. And for everything else." "You earned it," Patricia said warmly. "Every scholarship I gave you, you matched with hard work. Every opportunity I opened, you exceeded expectations. I didn't give you success, Chloe. I just gave you the chance you deserved." "Scholarship?" Mom's voice was small. "You said? A benefactor." "Patricia created the Linda Patterson Memorial Scholarship," I explained. "In Grandma's name." Grandma would have loved the irony, her money finally going to education, just through a different path. "We could have worked something out," Roger said desperately, "if you just talked to us. Like you talked to me before taking my college fund." "That's different." "You're right." I agreed. "It is different. You stole from your child. I just chose a different family. I'm your mother." "No," I said quietly. "You're the woman who gave birth to me. Patricia's the one who acted like a mother. Who put my needs first. Who believed in my dreams. Who saw my potential and invested in it instead of cashing it out for someone else." "So that's it," Mom demanded. "You're choosing her over us?" "You chose Brad over me. Every single time. His needs, his wants, his failures, always more important than my successes. Well, I found someone who chose me, and I'm choosing her back." "When you fail," Roger started. "I won't," I cut him off. "I've already succeeded. Post-internship turns into a full-time position next month. I have a book deal for my thesis. I have a mentor who believes in me and friends who support me. I have everything, except the family that was supposed to provide it." They left shortly after, Brad mumbling something about unfairness, Roger threatening legal action he couldn't afford, Mom crying tears that might have moved me once. Patricia stayed, along with my real friends, the ones who'd watched me work 3 jobs that first semester before Patricia found me, who'd celebrated every small victory, who'd been my chosen family when my blood family failed. "No regrets?" Patricia asked as we watched them leave. "One," I admitted. "I regret that they'll never understand what they lost. Not the money, that clearly never mattered to them. But me. They lost me, and they'll never understand that I was worth more than Brad's food truck." "Their loss," Patricia said simply. "My gain." "Why did you really do it?" I asked. "The truth this time." She smiled. Your grandmother called me before she died. Said she was worried about you. Said Linda was already putting Roger and Brad first, and it would only get worse. She made me promise to watch out for you if anything happened. The education fund was her way of protecting your future. When they stole it, I knew I had to step in. So Grandma knew exactly what would happen. Why do you think she tried to protect the money in a trust? She just didn't expect them to find a loophole. I thought about my grandmother, how she'd always slipped me $20 here and there, told me to save it for something important. How she'd made me promise to go to college, to make something of myself. She'd be proud, Patricia said softly, of what you've become, of what you've overcome. I had help. Everyone needs help. The difference is recognizing who's really offering it and who's just taking. She raised her glass. To Linda Patterson's granddaughters, both of us, and to knowing the difference between being given a chance and taking one. We toasted, surrounded by the family I'd chosen, the success I'd earned, and the future I'd almost lost. My parents had given my college fund to my stepbrother, thinking they were teaching me a lesson about sacrifice. Instead, they taught me about worth, that some people will see it and invest in it, while others will cash it out for quick gains. Aunt Patricia saw mine, and that made all the difference.